You also traveled a lot in Europe, haven't you?
Yeah, I traveled a bit. Yeah, I came over here when I was 15, 16, and I'd dropped out of high school and saved up like $200. I had no money. I was very naive. And I think when I was younger, I mean, I still do, but I think I had a lot of trust in people, and trust that I would just go and find some people and I'd find a place to stay and all that, and I just, so I did, I found some people. I came in the middle of December, which is pretty much the worst time to come, though. It was very cold, and I just walked the streets. I didn't really make any friends. I was just kind of surveying the landscape and imbibing the atmosphere, and I made a visit with my grandfather until his girlfriend kicked me out.
In Denmark?
No, that was in Germany. Yeah.
You think you're influenced by European culture?
Yeah, I think so, because I mean, I definitely feel like an outsider in American culture. I'd say a good half of what I do is a reaction to a lot of things in the popular culture at the time. Midnight Vultures has a lot to do with the last 3 years, and the reason that there's this R&B sound is because in America, that's all you heard for the last 3 years. That's kind of over now. It's more about the top 40 teen pop. So hopefully my next album won't be a reaction to that. I don't even want to go there. But yeah, in a way it was a reaction to a lot of the music and the culture at the time. There was this whole cult of gangsterism and coming out of the ghetto and being a mogul and achieving all this material wealth and success and a lot of flash and pomp, and it's just like as somebody who came from having no money, no resources, whatever, and having some success, I didn't really relate to how people were reacting to their success. That they weren't paying any attention to their craft, to forwarding the endeavor of music, making popular music more interesting and contributing to that. They're more interested in having their own record label and their own clothing company and their, all these things that had nothing to do with music, and everything that they were singing about in their music had nothing to do with music or beauty or anything. So I don't remember, what was the question?
You're talking about the reaction to the popular culture. Do you also think?
Yeah, in American culture. So yeah.
I think that also shows in your latest videos. Reaction.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think what I felt was when something is just when there's something being fed to you 24 hours a day, because it seems that when something takes over in the culture, that's all you get, If we like potatoes this week, that's all you're going to eat for the next 2 years. And it can be stifling, and it can be, it can definitely be stifling. So I feel like as one of the things that you get to do as an artist, I mean, being an artist, you can really, or being a songwriter, you have to adhere to certain forms of structure and songs and a melody and all that. You're not like a visual artist where you can kind of be more flexible and incorporate things into your art that have nothing to do with that. But I think one of the licenses you get as a songwriter is you can take things from the culture, things that you find abhorrent bankrupt and were annoying and commercial, and you can take them and rip them apart and rebuild them and create a new version of it and put it out in the world. That's one of the things that it gives you some sort of sense of control in all this, and try to make something beautiful out of all this hideous music. And so that's what I was tapping into on this record.
How did you work with you directed the Sex Laws video?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did you work with it? How did you get the idea?
I had a lot of ideas, but I just want to finish up about the American culture, because as I said, so I feel like an outsider in a lot of it, but I feel American. I definitely feel American, but a lot of things that have been influential to me were European. Going from say Hieronymus Bosch to Pierre Bonnard to Jean Tinguely, and then in film, Fellini and Buñuel are just huge influences. I think they're more influential on my music than most musicians are. They're just very influential. I was thinking in terms of maybe a Fellini movie on this album. If Fellini was making a movie starring Puff Daddy or Rick James or someone like that, and trying to create something that was artistic and beautiful out of that quality that a Puff Daddy or things in popular culture like that exude. This kind of they don't exude anything aesthetic or beautiful or timeless. So, and I think Fellini was great at capturing that moment of the worst part of the culture and the frenzy around it. But he captures the beauty of it. So.
Also inspired by.
So I think those are all European ideas, and then also a lot of the writers that I grew up reading. I loved the Kerouacs and the Bukowskis when I was growing up, but like I always say, Knut Hamsun isn't really known in America, but like that book Hunger was really influential. I read that when I was 14, and those were books that I could relate to.
So
what was your other question?
About the music videos. It's
music videos,
yeah.
Right? Yeah,
inspired by art there, I think.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I think music videos should be completely indulgent, and I think there was a good period in the '90s where everybody was trying to push the envelope. Everybody was trying to make a crazier, cooler video and try to get it played, and. Videos got pretty arty for a while, which is cool. Now they're like Nike commercials. They're not, and I think that should be the one place where musicians can just not have to take themselves so serious and not have to worry about a career or anything like that. I think that should be the place where musicians can just make fools of themselves. I think musicians should be allowed to indulge themselves in a video, and that's what I try to do. I just try to, when I'm directing or working with Steve Hamt, we just get as many as my friends as possible and come up with 4 or 5 loose concepts, and we just see what happens. Try to have some fun. They're always fun, actually. They're always kind of a party.
You made the Mixed Business video? Or?
No, French director Stéphane Sednay made it.